Good afternoon. Hi. Okay, so when I started off in hygiene, I was probably like a lot of you. I'd never heard of occupational hygiene before. I was a fully trained graduate chemist with an honours degree, thank you very much, and thought I was ready to go. Suddenly there was all these extra things to learn. I thought, great, I love to learn. So, excellent. All these sorts of things I could go and learn. It's a big company with a hygienist to learn from, so it's great. So I thought, fantastic. Next, I joined the institute to learn from other hygienists. I went back to uni to study occupational hygiene. It was great because I like to learn stuff and I like gadgets. So I was in the right place. Okay, not like those generalist safety people. But then I went off and became, so I was a company hygienist for 5 years, then I went off to join a consultancy. So suddenly I found there was a change. Suddenly I found people looked at me differently as a consultant. But now I want to talk about something that's a little bit uncomfortable. I want to talk about how that felt, okay? So as hygienists, we don't like to really talk about how we feel about things. So I'm giving you a little bit of a warning up here for people. And I know that for a fact because Perry Logan confirmed it. We don't like to talk about how we feel. And when I came to a conference as a consultant for the first time, I found that I started to feel a bit different because people talked about things differently. And you suddenly found people, when they started to talk about consultants, you felt that it was applying to you. And suddenly some of those statements that were a bit pointed were suddenly about you, which previously hadn't been. You were a bit shocked about those statements that were being made now about you. Previously about consultants and you didn't really care. They were quite hurtful. But that seemed okay. You suddenly thought, oh my God, I'm a salesperson. So I went back to being a company hygienist, which was fine because that was great. As a company hygienist again, all was good. It's fantastic. So that was all nice and good. Back being a company hygienist, so it was no good again. It was all good. But I suddenly went back to, that was good. I thought it was fine. But I found that being a company hygienist again, still, people weren't happy all the time. They suddenly went, company hygienist, you don't know everything, you're not independent. We need one of those consultants to toe the line and not tell us what the boss wants us to hear. So really, the company hygienist isn't really what we want either. And I've also found that sometimes you can go off to other places and in other professions as well, and it doesn't matter what side of the fence you're on, they don't like you either. You can go out and can go to a place and find that people actually just don't turn up to see you no matter what side of the fence you're on. I went to a meeting once and they didn't show up at all. It was dreadful. And in fact, what I actually found was that whether you're a company hygienist or a consultant, a lot of our job is about sales. And so what we have to do is to remember that our job is about sales a lot of the time, and we have to remember to try and do all of these things. And the risk management side, the risk communication side of sales is about all those things. And it's not actually how people see us. We have to get past how they see us and think about how to sell the message regardless of how people perceive us. And we need to think about some of the things that we do to manage that. And one of those things is not to take things personally, being the most important thing. Not to make assumptions about what people are going to think about us. And if we were to take those things personally, we wouldn't go out at all. We'd hide at home and never go out again, which I have considered some days. And we've got to remember that you cannot make an omelette without breaking eggs. So you do have to get out there and try everything. And that's actually often what the work looks like some days. And sometimes you've got to find some very good methods of stress relief. You know, sometimes I've heard that the mosh pit can be much safer if you use a boat. So you do have to try and manage, I find you've got to try and manage your emotions when you're going out and trying all these new things as well. Okay, thank you.